Hello and welcome to another episode of Eat, Smoke, Drink. Today I am reviewing the Ardbeg Day Committee bottling the Ardbeg Blaaack. It's the Ardbeg Blaaack because there's a sheep on it. There's a sheep on it because this particular Ardbeg uses Pinot Noir casks from New Zealand, my home country, and we are known to have a shitload of sheep here. So a little background, Ardbeg Day, actually, I don't need to give you a background. Ardbeg is a quintessential Isla whiskey, one of the more famous ones. Yes, Ardbeg is an quintessential Isla whiskey that is very recognizable because of its style, peaty, sooty, smoky, and extremely complex, deep flavors. Not for everyone, but hey, I think it's absolutely delicious. But this one here is finished in Pinot, it's using Pinot Noir casks from New Zealand, and been looking forward to getting this. We're actually a little bit late here in New Zealand, so it's a bit of a shame, but in saying that, we got there in the end. It's 50.7 from memory, 50.7% ABV. So as usual, I'm going to put a few drops in this one. Now, a little bit of it, I'm going to put a little bit more because the community bottling is essentially the same as the normal Ardbeg Day release. This comes out later this month, and the only difference is that one is 46% or something, and this one is 50. So I'm going to put a little bit more water in there just to get as close as possible to the other one. I don't want to, I can't obviously measure the alcohol, but I want to try and see what's better, more water or less water. Let's give it a swing. Let's get nosing without water. I'm getting a slight nuttiness to the nose. Actually, initially, I'm getting a bit of New Make spirit in that. But that New Make spirit quickly subsides, and followed by very much the quintessential Ardbeg peat. That heaviness. I mean, it's campfire, a little bit of rubber, saltiness, iodine. What's strange about it though is there is a condensed fruit smell to it, and that's what the Pinot Noir cask is probably from. There's also a strange maltiness to it as well, a slight cereal note. Now look at the impressions on the flavor profiles. I was interested in that. It says fruit pudding, condensed fruit, bitter cherry. I'm not getting that in the nose, with deeper edge of soot, and obviously hallmark smoke. Yeah, that's all there. I'm getting a herbal note to it as well. Definitely some licorice, black pepper. I'm not getting so much meatiness, but that could be the Pinot Noir influence. Usually Ardbegs have a bit of meatiness to it. But I'm getting quite a sweet condensed fruit, like a jam, like a strawberry jam actually, strawberry and blackberry jam. I'm getting a bit of that salinity and raw cacao. And somewhere in there I am getting that bourbon influence, that vanilla and coconut, but not too much. Let's try it with a lot of water. Let's try and water it down. Now that's interesting. With water, the soot comes up a lot. Wow. With water, the sweetness subsides a lot. The soot comes up a lot. That's actually really fascinating. I'm getting a hot metal, a little bit of condensed fruit, not as much sweetness. Wow. With water, the soot is very prominent. So that rubber is there, but it's not fresh rubber. It is a faint smell of rubber. It's like go to Walmart or department store and you've stepped away from the shoe section, and you're now the plastics toy section. I'm getting a fresh magazine print in there as well, which is interesting, and paper, wet paper. And then that is quickly followed by smoke, salinity, and a sweetness like a condensed fruit and jam. Definitely the jam is there. You definitely get that condensed fruit sweetness from the barrel influence. It's quite interesting. It is clearly, there's a clear bourbon influence in there, but surprisingly, it's been melded quite well with the fruits. I quite like it. On the back end though, on the back end of the no water sample, I am getting a, look right in the back end, I'm getting a slight new make spirit, that slight bitterness of new make. It's not a bad thing, but it's just not ideal. It is a little disappointing, I suppose, but you know, it's okay. It's not bad. It's still, I think it's still a good whiskey, quite an interesting whiskey. It is quite an expensive whiskey for quite a young whiskey. I said whiskey 10 times now, and I mean, I think it's about USD, it's probably about 150 USD, 160 USD, so it's actually significant when you think about it. But in saying that, you know, I think having that twist, yes, it is marketing, but having that twist is quite cool, to have a New Zealand Pinot Noir cask in there. Yeah, definitely. I mean, fire smoke, hot metal, definitely sooty, definitely bitterness. I mean, I can see why they say bitterness and cherry. I'd say it's cocoa, but definitely bittersweet. Yeah, not bad. Let's try the one with water. Now on the nose, the soot developed a lot. Strange. The sweetness comes out a lot more. The berries and that wine cask comes out a lot more with water. It actually does come out a lot more. Very interesting, because a lot of people, I've heard a lot of people comment that the non-community bottling is better. Now I'm going to wait to see after a few months what this is going to be like, obviously, because that'll be quite cool to know, to see how it develops. But with water, it's definitely a lot more palatable. It is less interesting, but more palatable. The berries and the sweetness is more prominent. The smoke and the sweetness is more well balanced. Yeah, I'm interested to know what the committee and non-committee bottling will be like. But so far from what I gather, the water sample is slightly better. It is better balanced. The new make spirit's taste, that bitterness, is actually not there. It's actually gone. So funny enough is that when you add more water to this one, it becomes more integrated. So that is fascinating. That is fascinating. The integration increases with the water in this particular bottle of whiskey. But yeah, now I'm getting that bitterness of the cherry that they're talking about, the bittersweet. I still don't know if it's cherry that I'm tasting. I still think it's cocoa, dark chocolate. But there's definitely a much more prominent bittersweetness to that as well. All in all, it's a good bottle. Actually, I would say it's one of the better Ardbeg Day releases that's come out in the last few years, in my opinion. The drum, I didn't quite like that. The grooves committee was great. The non-committee bottling was not so good. This one, both are very good. Hard to choose which one I like more, but I say progress it, or buy two. Buy the committee and non-committee, or the committee's probably gone. So just buy the non-committee. I think you'll win with that. I don't think it's a fail at all. Thank you very much for joining me today, and until next time, make sure you eat, smoke, drink, and cheers.